Hello, everybody. It's Andrew Field here, and there's a lot of big news to cover. I wanted to mention about the Green New Deal because it is an ambitious project where in 10 years we would be run 100% non renewable. And even if this deal fails, its intentions are really great, and it's exactly what this country needs because it needs rapid change to help the environment. And I think if they say it might be like the biggest mobilization since World War II for America, I think that's exactly what America needs to face the number one world problem in my eyes of climate change. And with climate change, there was it topped a threat on a poll along with U.S. power is a growing worry in a poll um, from around the world, and I can understand that. South Korea increased the pay for U.S. troops after Trump pushed for it. El Chapo, the drug lord, was found guilty in court. The national debt tops 22 trillion now. The first female pilot to fly an F-16 was removed after 2 weeks of um, being in the armed forces. New York police officer was dead after shooting. A newborn girl was stranded on the road in low temperatures. Guiado supporters flooded the streets of Venezuela um, a couple days ago, maybe a few days ago. Asian stocks advance in positive U.S. China trade sentiment. Uh, Texas hunter paid $110,000 to kill a rare Himalayan goat, and I cover this because I personally hate hunters like this. Like, I understand to hunt to eat and survive or to trade or wherever, but just hunting for fun and killing, especially endangered species, makes me pretty upset. I don't like those people. There's still a lot of Brexit drama going on. I'm pretty sure there's still the French protests going on. Activision and Blizzard, video game companies, laid off 775 people when they amid record results. So when they're having a good year, Apple plans to keep 50% of the revenue from its um, Netflix subscription service that they were thinking of adding. And then the iPhone revenue dropped 15%, which makes sense because um, the iPhones have gotten much better, where we don't need as many new iPhones as Apple was trying to come out with. It was just ridiculous. Amazon bought a router company, Eero. Apple wants to bring health records to iPhone. That's kind of like on the iWatch, and it helps veterans. George Clooney said that Meghan Markle is being chased like Prince Harry's mother, Diana. Diana. I just mentioned that because Meghan Markle was like a American figure that got married to Prince Harry, and it was a big deal over the summer. And it seems like she's been getting a lot of criticism lately. So I saw that Michael Jordan says how he's better than James Harden or Russell Westbrook with 6 titles in a recent interview. A meteor left crater beneath Greenland ice that they've discovered. NASA sets a funeral for the Mars Opportunity rover, which went silent. Um, there was a report about U.S. cities being much warmer in 2080. They say that New York City will feel like Arkansas, and it makes sense because even though the soil and ocean is taking a lot of the um, extra the heat that's coming to our planet, over time it's our planet is just becoming warmer and warmer, and by 2080 it's going to be really bleak for the country and the world. That's why we need to stop it now. New York City, I said that teens defy parents to get vaccinated during a measles outbreak because um, measles out seems to be coming back, and for some reason people are like anti um, like vaccine. They don't want to get vaccinated. It doesn't make sense. So Now measles is coming back, and thankfully kids are smarter than these parents by going to get vaccinated. And then Trump made fun of Senator Amy Klobuchar for climate change stance in 2020 run while being in a blizzard. And I don't know. But it doesn't seem like Klobuchar is the best candidate, and I'll have to do more research to know for sure, and it's a bit early. But there's still a growing amount of Democratic candidates putting their hat in the ring for 2020. A big deal was silence in Germany when Mike Pence, mentioned Trump. Like no applause, just silence, and it was really just shows, like I said in the last video, how we're kind of losing our world value. And one of the things that pisses me off about Trump the most is how he's being so bad to our European allies and our allies in general, while appeasing to dictators such as Kim Jong Un and Putin. And it's really frustrating to see, being a democratic nation and being someone who believes in democratic, seeing him feel like authoritarian, say like just leaving our allies behind and sticking by the wrong people. Hopefully that will change soon with probably a new leader. Um, and it just shows like the divide that we have with our European allies right now. And yeah, like I said, hopefully they get better over time and it doesn't get worse. Trump signed a bipartisan bill to end the government shutdown, but then called a national emergency. So with that, Republicans and Democrats were able to negotiate a spending bill over border security, but it didn't come with the 5.7 billion. It came with less than a quarter of that, with like 1.4 billion, and it came with like some 55 miles of fencing, but that's nowhere near what he wanted. So he signed the bill so that stopped the government shutdown from happening. But it also declares national emergency, but he's already gonna have to deal a lot with the courts, because thankfully 16 states filed lawsuits saying that Trump's emergency claim was unconstitutional, as it is, because even though there's an act where he can do that, he even said right after that it wasn't necessary. It was just to speed up the process. And a lot of Republicans were saying that it would be a bad idea, of course, because it'd be bypassing Congress. And most of the times it was like we used a national emergency after 9/11, and it's just like sanction other nations, or if we were actually getting invaded, but we're not. So it's a stupid reason to use it. And thankfully, the courts will come to it. And he said that it will go up to, he predicts it will go up to the Supreme Court, and his newly Republican nominated um, justices will help to pass it. And I hope that's not the case, but it may be. Um, 5 died in an Aurora shooting with 5 cops hit, and a victim texted his wife, "I love you. I've been shot at work." This one hit really hard because it was close to home, and we see these all over the country. I mean, there was another one with 3 children dying, among 4 dead in Michigan, a Michigan shooting, and you see these mass shootings happening all over the country and pretty often compared to before, and that speaks of how divided we are right now, how much we need gun control, and not as a state issue but a national issue. And it really hurt, being in Aurora, like seeing the shooting in Aurora. Um, you know, when it's closer to home, it hits you more because it makes you worried, and like, oh, it's really close. Like, in the beginning they didn't catch the shooter, and it just puts an extra stroke of fear, and it makes it more personal being closer to you. Um, yeah, hopefully things get better. Because these mass shootings need to stop. Rod Rosenstein says to be, well, is predicted to be leaving in mid March. A sixth grade boy in Florida was arrested for not reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. And I see this at like my school, and I'm sure this happens a lot of people like not saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't think that they should be arrested for it because that seems to be against your rights of um, like freedom of protest. But it seems sad to me that kids even are protesting, like saying the Pledge of Allegiance because of like everything that's going on in this country. Um, let's see. The Empire hate crime, the main guy from Empire, or one of the stars from Empire that was attacked by two men in Chicago, seemed like that was staged. So that was sad to see, for the people that actually deal with these hate crimes just to get more popularity. So shame on that guy, and I hope he does get punished for that. And to end it on a good note, a New Jersey police officer leaves $100 tip and a nice note to a pregnant waitress. But yeah, there's a lot going on right now, and I hope that the president does not get his national emergency because he doesn't deserve it. And um, it's sad to see that even though Congress was working together to get this border wall, it wasn't enough for him. And I hope the best for our future in America as all of this is going on. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend and day. And like and subscribe if you like what I'm saying and think that I'm doing a pretty good job. I'd really appreciate it. Um, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.